Larian Studios just posted what will probably be their last community update on Steam, detailing the updated character creator, multi-classing, respecking, mercenaries, the third major villain, crafting, and a lot more. There's a lot in this community update, but I'm only going to go over the major topics, at least in my opinion. If you wish to read the community update in its entirety, you go on the Baldur's Gate 3 Steam store page. Now on to the character creator. As seen in the recent panel from Hell, it was one of the first major things that they showed when that panel began. The character creator is getting a major overhaul. New skin options will be available alongside new tattoo designs, scars, lip makeup customization, accessories like piercings, and horn collar customizations for tieflings, and just a lot more. In 1.0, which I believe is the release, they're also introducing heterochromia, which is you're able to choose different colors for each eye. Onto multi-classing. Scroll on down here so y'all can see. We also received details on how multi-classing will work. Now, in the panel from Hell, they did say that there is multi-classing, but here they're actually showing how it's going to work. They removed the ability score prerequisites from multi-classing. For those unfamiliar with D&D 5th edition rules, in order to multi-class in D&D proper, you have to meet certain stat score requirements to multi-class into another class. Larian did away with that requirement, allowing you to just pick a new class at level up if you so desire. There's also an achievement if you multi-class into every class, which is pretty awesome. Now on to respecking. Alright. So, in this update, Larian reiterated that we will be able to fully respec our characters by utilizing a particular NPC. Supposedly we met them in Act 1. We will be able to use them to respec all of our characters. Now, respecking has been controversial in the community, but personally, I'm glad that Larian is implementing it as an additional option, an additional tool for you to utilize, or not. The choice is yours. Alright, now we're going to move on to mercenaries. We're going to skip this. We already know about the origin characters. If you want to read about the Dark Urge, I would rather suggest you go watch the panel from Hell. That segment on the Dark Urge is really good. It gives a much better picture than what this text here says. So yeah, go watch that little section in the panel from Hell. And again, I'm going to skip this area on romances and such. They covered that a lot in the panel from Hell. Honestly, it's just okay for me. That's not the big draw for this. Did I skip over it? Let me see. I did skip over it. Okay, here we go. Mercenaries. So I'm just going to go ahead and read what they say instead of like summarizing it because it's pretty short to begin with. So what they say is that should you so choose, you'll be able to create a custom party without any origins, opting instead to have hirelings join you on the road. Mercenaries who can be hired to join your team temporarily. In Baldur's Gate 3, there are 12 hirelings available for you to recruit, one for each class. Each has their own name, visuals, and race, and can be respected at any time. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I look forward to trying them out. I probably, for the first run, I'm not going to have any. I'm just going to have all origin characters. But it would be good for a second or third run. Okay, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and skip these. Skip that. And I'm going to go here to alchemy. There's going to be some kind of crafting, which is awesome. So many of us, including myself, were hopeful and even expecting of a crafting system, since the bones of it were there in early access with the few things that we were able to craft. But it seems like we'll be able to craft a variety of things to include potions, poisons, and oils. Next, we get to meet the third villain, Orin the Red. Completing the trinity of villains in Baldur's Gate 3 is Orin, a practitioner in the art of inflicting pain and a grandmaster of murder. Orin has killed for many years, but has yet to be caught, thanks in part to her shape-shifting abilities, which enable her to take the form of anyone, perhaps even someone in your camp. She hides her cravings to commit murder beneath these numerous masks, disguising her intentions and herself to lure unsuspecting victims. It's during the act of murder that she is her truest self. At that moment, she is murder. So, this character is really interesting just from the history of Baldur's Gate with the Bale spawn and such. So it seems like she may be some kind of spawn, some type of avatar, cleric, or some such of Bale, who is the Lord of Murder. Her shape-shifting ability sounds like she could be a changeling, perhaps, or maybe is just a powerful and illusion magic, or has a blessing of her god to grant her those powers. Either way, I'm very excited to meet this villain in particular. Sounds like we'd have to solve another murder mystery to figure her out, or who she could be. You know what I'm hoping for is that she ends up being like Deacon from Fallout 4, who basically follows you around many major locations, but many players never figure it out until much later. In fact, it's a pretty good Google if you want to look that up. If you're not too familiar with Fallout 4, there's a particular companion, Deacon, that you can recruit, and unknown to you before you ever meet him, he is following you around to major locations, and he shows up in various disguises, which is pretty cool. That'd be awesome if this particular villain does something similar. Next, we're going to move on to... We already knew about split screen and co-op, that was going to be a thing. You can read more about the particulars here, about dialogue, how that will work. And then they went over the cinematics, how many hours of cinematics was in the panel of Hell, or from Hell. But what's more interesting is this streaming Baldur's Gate 3. So we know in Baldur's Gate 3 from watching the panel from Hell that there are a lot of romances, and those romances include a lot of sexually explicit material, nudity, etc. So what's awesome is that Larian put in a nudity genital option, so you can turn those features off so you can stream in peace. Thought that was a nice touch. And then the last major news isn't so much of a news, it's more of a clarification. Where are we at here? Right here. The PC Digital Deluxe Edition will not include a 72-hour head start. PC players will get access to the full game on August 3rd. So I know that some people kind of expected it because it's what was stated, that that's what we receive as holders of the digital deluxe edition. Now PS5 will get that 72-hour head start, but PC players won't. We already get a month ahead of PS5 players, so still think that's pretty fair, pretty awesome. And with that will wrap up today's video. If y'all liked it, give it a like. If you want to see more Baldur's Gate 3 content, please subscribe. Thank you. Have an awesome day.